lot to talk about active weather-wise, and luckily if you're not a fan of the cold, although some areas of the country will still be seasonably cold, such as the northern prairies, northern Canada, most areas are generally on par with the normal daytime highs and overnight lows this time of year. We have basically three stories or main areas of active weather that we're talking about. Number one, a system that basically misses southern Ontario for the most part, venturing off towards the Atlantic, and that will be a snowmaker predominantly. Across the prairies, big contrast between the cold, the warm, where those two different air masses meet, some active weather, and across the Pacific, we're back into rain and snow over higher elevation. So here's what things are starting to shape up in terms of that story number one. Atlantic Canada, quiet through the daytime hours. Once again, there's really two systems on the map. One, a cold front stretching through the north. That will create some pockets of snow, venturing its way across central Quebec. Through southern Ontario, a near miss, if you will. And we've been watching this system with the potential impacts, and yes, it does look like, in all confidence, it will generally miss southern Ontario, an opportunity for a little bit of rain across Niagara, but it's really Atlantic Canada that gets into the snow and the gusty winds. Across the prairies, once again, the contrast between the cold and the warm. Snowfall builds down the Yellowhead, and it stretches through Alberta, Saskatchewan, and in towards Manitoba eventually, but Manitoba's not really targeted with the heavy snowfall. That first system will then clear off towards the Great Lakes, and in its wake, a little bit of instability leading to another opportunity for additional snowfall. Across BC, you're looking at some steady rainfall, heavy at times, especially late Tuesday and into Wednesday morning. A bit of a lull before the next wave of rain and snowfall builds in. So to help you plan, here's your forecast conditions taking you through Tuesday afternoon. Once again, rain and higher elevation snow, primarily across the coast and through the interior, through the Rockies. Once again, there's that noticeable contrast in temperatures and overall conditions. The cold continues to bottle itself towards the north. Generally, most areas across the north are at least a few degrees below normal. Seasonably mild in some areas across the lower Great Lakes, seasonable, if you will, to the north. Still holding close to zero across Quebec, and perhaps into Atlantic Canada, you get that calm before the snow as that snow begins to build in. So in terms of amounts, through Tuesday morning, there is sea effect across Cape Breton. There's also some sea effect across Newfoundland, primarily across the west. As that system begins to lift in, you're going to start noticing some snow build in. This is late Tuesday evening, overnight, and into Wednesday. But Atlantic Canada, it's all a matter of timing. Nova Scotia, most of your snow is during the morning and early afternoon, might impact your morning commute, but by the afternoon, southerly winds, and you start to get back into sunshine. So Wednesday's just one of those days. You wake up with one kind of weather and end it in a slightly different form. Snowfall, once again, to the north, thanks to that cold front, and you're not going to see much snowfall potential across southern Ontario. That system generally just misses us to the south and east, but once again, as we start stepping forward through this work week, as temperatures climb, we get into a thaw, and we're talking about not snowfall for southern Ontario, we're talking about rainfall, which obviously with the melting snow and the additional rainfall, we could see some localized ponding, pooling, and or flooding. Across the prairies, like I mentioned before, the snowfall will be across northern and central Alberta, stretching through Saskatchewan, and eventually Wednesday night and into Thursday across areas to the south. And once again, it's a story about rain across BC and higher elevation snow.